Who want a ticket straight to them pearly gates?
Quite recently on this channel, I've been talking a lot about the sales data. I have another video, I think like one or two more, where I just talk about different aspects of the sales data as relate to not only Tekken 8, but Tekken as a whole. But kind of coinciding with all of that stuff, I've been talking about Tekken 4 and whatnot. In Harada's newest episode of Harada's Bar, he's kind of been talking about it as well. I don't know if it's like, if I jogged his memory or whatever the case may be, but here on Reddit, you have a video. I won't play the video, but I'll just read the headline because it does a good job of summarizing it. Harada said Tekken 4 was extremely unpopular and only 20% of the Tekken player base liked it. And this matches perfectly with the sales data that I've been showing you guys on my Twitter. Tekken 4 was very experimental, and just at the time that it came, players were not looking for an experiment. Players were looking for something that was more similar to Tekken 3, and when that's what Harada realized, and he, when they made Tekken 5, they said literally that they made that game more like Tekken 3, and then boom, you had another 10 million greatest selling Tekken of all time. And what's interesting about that era of Tekken is comparing it to now. Tekken 7 was a massive success. You could compare that to the success of Tekken 3. After Tekken 3, they experimented with Tekken 4. It didn't go well. A lot of people think they're experimenting with Tekken 8, and currently you can argue it's not going well. Will they recover in this lifespan and turn Tekken 8 into a Tekken 5 level of success? Or will we have to wait until a Tekken 9 and for Tekken 9 to be a Tekken 5 level of success? It's just a little interesting idea to play around with your brain at the start of the video. But let's continue. Harada was doing a little bit of tweeting about Hong Kong and how he needs to visit that part of the world. And when you talk about that part of the world, I was doing some research myself, and I discovered that Lei Wulong's Tekken 7 design is based off Lei Wulong from Inside Man. I can't show you guys the actual movie. It's on my Twitter. You can click the link in the description, go watch it for yourself, the little clip. But you can see the design with the jacket definitely matches. And the reason why I want to bring this up in the video is because I found these other tweets from Harada where he's talking about Lei's usage data. In 2016, Harada was asked, answer about Lei Wulong, need him with Tekken 7 for real. He says he has a chance, of course, but his usage rate was low. Our effort wasn't enough. And I like that Harada says our effort wasn't enough. He's taking responsibility for the character not doing well in terms of usage. Now, when you talk about Tekken 7 and usage, Lei was pretty low, as well as Anna. When the character was announced, Harada says, so basically he's talking about after the character was revealed, where did all the people on Twitter who was angry go? And I think this is important. When we're angry about a character and you're tagging Harada, when that character is announced, definitely go back and thank the man. Get some positivity in there. But when you talk about how Tekken 7 ended for Lei, it wasn't good. His usage was low, so you have to wonder if they'll redo this all over again. Do you put him in Tekken 8 and then the players just disappear, and then the character is just forgotten, and then the next game, it's like a cycle. And I wonder at what point do the developers say, break that cycle. We're not putting this character in the game because his usage is forever low. I like the guy, but when do you stop and when do you say enough? Let's just bring up the topic of ranked once more. We talk about how in ranked there's not much to do. For the players who are casual, all they have to do is go into rank and just get clapped up until they're frustrated and then they turn the game off. For the most die-hard professional players on the planet, you have a different thing that's affecting them, and that is rank becoming meaningless. Edge says done. In another tweet, he quote tweets himself and says, I want to keep playing Harada and rank matches, but I don't have much of a goal. I hope there's new content. Another greatest player in the world, says me too. And this is something that I've just seen consistently, where the pro players, they max out the Tekken points. That's basically what these guys did. Both reached 1 million points, and they have nothing else to do in ranked. What else do you do? And they're asking for more. And then we look at the casuals who are just button mash and rank, they're also asking for more. So I just wonder, when will the developers answer our request for more to do besides grind rank? And if you think about Tekken 7, a lot of players were very satisfied with just grinding rank for all 7 years of that game. But Tekken 8, we're like 8 months in and everyone is sick of it. So I wonder what's the difference there, where we were satisfied with rank in Tekken 7, but in Tekken 8, we want more. That's also an interesting twist as well, but the players want what they want, give them what they want. Someone on Twitter, they tagged Harada and said, hey Harada-san, could we ever see old Tekken game life bars come back as a customizable option while in fights? So this is actually an interesting idea. Can we get old life bars back as like a customizable option? And when you talk about a store, a shop, a battle pass, this is the kind of outside of the box thinking that the developers should be thinking about. Like, that's what we're looking for. Old health bars, old stages, old characters, old designs, but at a faster pace as well. Harada responds to this: of all the fighting games, not just Tekken, but of all fighting games, which is your favorite life bar? Now, throughout this segment of the video, you will see basically the most liked examples, but also just many examples from many different players. There's so many different type of life bars throughout all of the fighting games in existence, and me personally, I think some of the most iconic, just off the top of my brain, is Mortal Kombat 9, a lot of the old school Street Fighter ones. You have, of course, some old school Tekken ones as well. I like the ones that are super simple and they don't really like do too much in terms of like over the top designs. I like the simple, nice rectangle with a bright yellow color, and those are the ones that's like memorable to me, right? Now, Harada looks at all of these responses and says, I was surprised to find that the life bar taste differs so strikingly from one individual to another. Now, even though he's not really acknowledging the request at all, the fact that he is responding to this shows that he is just simply aware of this. With a little bit more effort and a little bit more elbow grease, the store, the shop, and Tekken can be wonderful. No one is completely against supporting the game. We just want our money to be spent in a good place. And I think adding something like health bars and just outside of the box thinking like that would be incredible, and would also alleviate a lot of the issues that the players are currently presenting to the developers. One final thing I'll talk about is another tweet from Harada. He said, this is outside of Tekken, not related, but I haven't had much luck lately regarding my work. I'm deeply troubled for the first time in my life, so I'm losing weight. When I recorded this, I was laughing, but it was pretty hard, and when I watched the video, I can see myself starting to lose weight. So Harada is just talking about the stress of being like, you know, in the position that he's in. We know he's a very high up executive, and also a lot of our complaints and a lot of our frustrations is pointed at him. Two of the things that I talked about at the beginning of this video was that exact thing, and you can see that a lot of that stuff it just weighs on the person, on the individual, and Harada's losing a lot of weight because of it. That's an interesting thing. But in this video, he was talking about Tokido and his talks about a retirement. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but Harada and Michael Murray were saying that they may retire, that they might retire after Tekken 9. So we're just getting to this point where you're seeing the people who defined these eras of fighting games are slowly leaving. First, you have Ono, then it's probably going to be Harada, Michael Murray, then maybe it's Tokido, then maybe it's Ed Boon. The new generation of developers are definitely making their way in and also making their way to the top. I think for Tekken, they'll definitely be safe with Nakatsu. I think Nakatsu probably will take over. He's a young guy and he's like right under Michael Murray and Harada. When those two leave, I think he will definitely take over. And I think with everything he's done in Tekken 7 and Tekken 8, I think he will be able to lead and maintain what Harada and Michael Murray has built. Because also something I like to mention as well, Harada's not the creator of Tekken. Even though people say he is, he's not. He's the director of Tekken, but the creator of Tekken is the same guy who created Virtual Fighter. So Harada was once in that position of taking up the mantle and continuing. And continuing, he did a great job of, and eventually we'll see the next generation do that as well. So I just want to talk about all of these things in this video. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Like and subscribe, and bye-bye.